Well. Another loss for Chelsea on the road, another loss this season, another underwhelming performance. What is happening at Chelsea Football Club? To be honest, this is normality now. Chelsea are consistently up and down. We're a below average mid-table club at the moment. We're sat 12th in the Premier League and things haven't looked worse in the Bowley Clearlake Capital ownership era. This is the worst it's been, the lowest it's been. I am concerned about where we go. Chelsea fans, there is going to be one discussion on our lips tonight, and that is going to be Poch in or Poch out. What are you? Let me know in the comments below. I'm Poch out. I'm not happy with what's going on, and I don't think the manager is helping. I'm seeing teams with lesser proven players than what Chelsea currently have. We have World Cup winners. We have people who have won domestic titles, who have won other competitions in our squad. And at this moment in time, we are simply not good enough. And I do think the manager plays a part. I'm not saying he's fully to blame because some of these players are not good enough. It's very, very simple. If the players aren't good enough at their job, we will not win games. But the manager's not helping things. So like I said, let me know in the comments below. Are you Poch in or Poch out? Let's talk about this game against Everton. I was optimistic today. I saw the lineup. I thought that's everything we needed. I thought Broho will score because if he doesn't, his time is more than likely up at Chelsea Football Club because in the current model, the Clearlake Capital model, he can be sold for clear profit, whereas none of the other strikers can. So I think he's going to be the one who makes way for us to bring in another striker because we've got Nkunku, let's call him a striker. We've got Jackson, let's call him a striker. Let's call Broho a striker as well. And then if we bring someone else in, there's 4. We all know that 4 strikers is too many. So one of them has to go. Well, it's not going to be Jackson because he's brand new unless he goes out on loan because he quite obviously is not good enough for the Premier League. It's definitely not going to be Nkunku because too much money has been spent on him. Well, who else isn't performing? Broha. A useless game from him today. Couple of chances, but to be honest with you, flattered to deceive. I just don't think he was good enough. We can work our way through the whole squad. Sanchez, every time the ball's at his feet, he is an absolute flight risk. You don't know what you're going to get every time he distributes. Shot stopping, I actually rate the bloke. I think he's really good. But the way the current manager wants us to play, Sanchez isn't good enough. And now he's got an injury. And who knows what the second choice keeper is about because we've got no evidence. So that's going to be an interesting one going forwards. Let's get on to the real talking point though. Our captaincy. Reece James, your best days are behind you. You've had your best days in a Chelsea shirt. I genuinely do not believe we will ever see the Reece James we saw flying up and down that right-hand side under Tommy Tuchel ever again. For some reason, Reece James's body cannot support his requirements as an athlete. And until a scientist works out how to solve that problem, you will not see Reece James play football consistently. It is an absolute shambles. I feel for the guy. I really do, because you can just tell he's so fed up. And who else isn't as a Chelsea fan? This is a joke. Reece is our best player. In my eyes, our only world-class player is Reece James. And he can't get minutes together. He cannot stay fit. It's ridiculous. What is going on with Chelsea's fitness, science department in terms of... I mean, we just sacked a bloke who's been there for like 12 years. What is going on? We cannot keep players fit. The recovery and players returning from injury is obviously so wrong. I was quite happy with how Reece was returning to form and to the team and stuff like that. I thought it was going to be a slower process this time round. Well, lo and behold, as soon as he's basically starting again, he's injured. You just can't write it. Well, in fact, with Reece James, you can. We've got left-backs playing at right-back. We've got centre-backs playing at left-back. It's a shambles. This is down to Pochettino, though, and the physio department, because we can't get players fit enough to play that you can choose players from the right positions. So it is a mess. I can see potential with how Poch wants Chelsea to play. I'm not going to deny it. There are times when I think if he had a better team, we would be unreal. And I genuinely think that if the confidence was higher and some of the players were a little bit more experienced and better at what they do for a living, Chelsea wouldn't be in this position. Until very recently, we had a good expected goals and our defensive record was the best of the league. Well, look, that's gone now and we're plummeting. We are in freefall. If Pochettino had better players and he was at a squad who had been winning games more recently, I think he'd be doing a better job. The issue I have right now, though, with Poch is quite simply, this team has no experience. This team has limited amount of winners, but it does have some winners in the squad. The problem, though, is that they don't, on the majority, this team doesn't know how to win your every weekend or week fixture. Your consistent fixture that you're going to get in the league. This squad doesn't know how to win those. And that's my problem. I think we can show that for a one-off game, we are sort of able to get ourselves up for it. We've done well in some of the bigger games. And the only cup competition we've had so far under Poch, we're doing okay. We're not amazing. Look, that Newcastle game, might as well write that off because I can't see us getting through the quarterfinals. But we are able to prepare for the bigger games. My concern is that week in, week out, we're not consistently able to put performances back to back to back to back to build momentum. And that's where I think, and I'm going to say it right now, a manager along the lines of Jose Mourinho is everything this squad needs right now. And I'm not saying it has to be Jose, but he's a great example. He gets the club, he knows what the club's about, and we've seen him do it time and time again. We've seen him transform teams and put them back on the right track and start transforming the players who have currently no idea of how to play in a way that wins you games or grinds out results. That's what's key first, that then allows you to build momentum. Right now, we can't get any momentum because we can't even grind out your typical 1-0 win. And also, one of the biggest reasons about that is because to win football games, you need to score goals. At this moment in time, and for the last couple of seasons, I'm 100% in the Clear Lake Capital ownership era of Chelsea, we've not been clinical in front of goal. So we don't score enough goals. Therefore, we don't win football matches. It's a shambles right now. But the manager has to take some of the blame. Yes, some of the players aren't good enough, but he has to stop playing them. But the problem is, like today, he's made rotations and the other players aren't good enough. So what does that tell you? We've already spent £1 billion on a project team. The project's over, mate. Done. The project's going nowhere. We are going backwards time and time again. We built a project for like 2025. Well, let me tell you this. 23-24 was right in front of our eyes and our team's not good enough. So what's going to happen in January and what's going to happen in the summer? Chelsea will go and spend more money, but we've already spent £1 billion. So we're now on tighter purse strings to bring in the essential effective players that we need right now. But let me give you an example. Badashile, 40 million pretty much. Cole Palmer, 40 million. Dazassi, around 40 million. These are some of Chelsea's best performers right now. Casado, Enzo Fernandez, Mudryk, we're talking about nearly 300 million combined for those three. They're all shit. So don't start comparing or don't start going out there, Chelsea, trying to spend 100 million. Get some scouts who can do their job. Look at the way Pochettino has his team set up to play, because right now, I think it could be chaos if we sack a manager because this team simply isn't good enough. But identify players that can fit into this system, like we've obviously done, because there's a Monaco link in the club and he's signed 2 centre-backs from Monaco and they're both pretty solid. There's a guy from Man City and we've signed a Man City player who's pretty decent that I think are there for the future of the club. Let's do that. No one was scouting Mudryk saying, let's bring him in, he's unreal. Geezer's hardly played football. Enzo Fernandez had a good 6 months and got carried by Messi. And all of a sudden, he's the best midfielder in the world. Look, don't get me wrong, I've seen him have good games and I genuinely believed in the potential. But right now, I'm not seeing it. Casado, the geezer's played like 30 to 50 games for Brighton. What's he ever done to earn that price tag and then come in and start every game for Chelsea because of how much he cost? It's a shambles. Go out there, do some proper scouting, sign players that are good enough and buy them at a lower rate, because we're going to have to do that now. We can't spend the money that we did. But watch us in January. We'll go drop 100 million on Osimhen and expect him to bang 40 goals like we're going to do with Nkunku. The bloke's going to come back from 2 really, really bad injuries. And as soon as he's not scoring, he's under so much unnecessary pressure. It's a shambles at Chelsea right now. Let me know in the comments below what you think the solution is. Are you Poch in or you Poch out? I'll be honest, right now with what I've seen, I'm Poch out. There's managers out there that can get more from this team. I'm absolutely certain they just need to walk through the door at Cobham. Forget the project managers. Clear Lake Capital, you're not going to make any money if Chelsea Football Club are not winning games. Simple as that, because the players you think you can sell on or whatever, you're going to get pittance from them because no one believes they're any good. We're the biggest laughing stock in the Premier League at the moment. Absolute shambles. Sort it out. And I'll catch you in the next one, because our next few fixtures, actually, let me tell you this. 1 second. We have the second easiest run in the Premier League coming up. How many points are we going to get? Put that in the comments below. Sheffield United, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Luton and Fulham. And then we had Everton as well. All teams, pretty certainly, bar Fulham now, I think, are in the bottom half. Let me know your thoughts. I reckon that's 3 points tops. I'll catch you in the next one.